Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. And thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. Today, we'll be talking something very important, and it's about the Jewish community. All of a sudden, they're pulling up in schools, trying to stop people or trying to protesting and all that. And not just only are they doing that, they are also spewing some race disease, rhetoric, and all that. And you all know how it goes. Like anything that got to do with Black people is just something they do not want to hear, and the rest of it. I mean, there is no other reason for them to be there other than a set up, and that is it. You know, the fact that Black people are always at the receiving end and all that is just something that I really do not understand. And then if you look around and ask, what did Black people do? Of course, Black people haven't done anything to them, right? And I see them all the time, and you cannot even speak up on like any social media and all that, trying to say what is going on in Jewish community and all that. And pew pew, what you are going to get is like, anti-Semitic, this thing, because everything is all anti-Semitic. There is nothing that is not anti-Semitic. But you see them all the time, saying so many things about people that look like me and the rest of it. See, I have seen so many Black people give platforms to so many. I have seen so many Jewish people that got their platform from Black people, but it is very rare to see where Jewish people give platforms to Black people. Let's get into this.
The Jewish people pulling up to college campuses to protest people protesting to save people's lives is literally insanity. Why are they there? The only reason why they would pull up there is because they're trying to kick up drama. They're already spewing racist hatred shit. And there is no other reason for them to be there other than a setup. I pray that the students on these college campuses that have to endure these people keep a calm, cool head and continue to peacefully protest without unrest. Because the moment that anything kicks off due to them causing drama, they're gonna turn it all around and they're gonna completely blame y'all. Keep calm, stay peaceful, and don't play into their tricks. The Jewish people pulling up to college campuses to protest people.
Let me interrupt in this conversation here. I find it to be very unfair, not fair, unfair. Let me emphasize unfair, that we have to cater to a certain community. And this certain community has been catered for several centuries. And this certain community has pretty much had ruined the dynamics of all community. And to me, I'm seeing the divide and conquer every time from this certain community. If you want to speak your views and your opinions could be an opinion that is something realistic, this certain community always turn around and say you're anti-Semitic. If you talk about a Jewish culture or you talk about anything that's pertaining to Jewish, it always have to be censored. Meanwhile, they can sit there and have their Daily Wired, their podcast, and downgrade Black American community. Because Benjamin Shapiro, if you listen to the Daily Wire, he has said nothing but negative stuff and racial stuff about Black community. And nobody has called him out, because guess what? We had someone who was like a Sambo, and that was Candace Owens, because she was degrading Black culture, her own culture, okay? Selling herself out until she got called out, because she felt personally that what they were doing in Israel was uncalled for and totally unnecessary and volatile. Now, I feel like we're back in the 1930s to the 1940s when World War II had invented, and even in the time in the 1900s, you could say from 16 to 18 when we had World War I. Because I see the shifting of racism spewing every time, not only in the social media, but all the social media platforms. if you go on YouTube, if you say anything, they give you strike 3 and then you're off the channel for good. Okay? And 9/10 of the time, when I look at some of the posters in the Jewish community, they have said hatred things. We had senators who live in the South, the North, the East, and the West said about anti-woke, which was a violation against black culture. I didn't see no community ever turned around and said, that's foul, that's disrespectful, that's this. But you see, every man for itself. We have to learn to not depend on anybody. We had a vice president who's supposedly black, but guess what? We had Obama who was supposed to be black, but he was not helping us. He was helping himself to reign the millions and the billions, and he was working along with the other constituents. Miss Clarissa Harris, who pretty much is a vice president, sat there and allowed him to suppress us, and I mean Ron DeSantis and the tested governor, when we had anti-woke. Now, moving right along, I don't think it's fair for a community to have a contract with Silicon Valley or have a contract with the NYPD of the police department. And the reason why I say that is because we received emails from a former governor, email stating us that we have to give respect to the Passover season of the Israelites. Everybody in this country has a holiday, and nobody has respected our holiday, okay, or anybody else's holiday. So why is it they're so important than anybody else? Now, if you're in your holiday, you have a ritual, why all of a sudden you get so concerned about a group of students in colleges protesting peacefully against what's happening in Gaza? We recently saw how they had a cargo of food for storage for the people that are in Gaza, and the Israelites turned around and blew it down. And we saw it. The gentleman who had it, I reposted it. The next minute, TikTok turned around and dropped it, because TikTok is right now is back against the wall with the government, because the government is sitting there trying to push, extort them for this app, okay? And many other apps that they wanted to do. So all I'm saying is, we as black people, we had leaders, and the leaders end up selling us out and end up still being friends with the same community that turn around and try to say that we're doing anti-Semitic stuff. We had the Black Panthers. These were men and women who were educated, who went and go study the law, became lawyers, became social workers, became doctors, became dentists, became everything political towards the society to show that this was supposed to be a systematic civil society. They ended up going to jail, or they ended up being assassinated, or they ended up being blacklisted, or whatever the situation may be. We had Black Lives Matter, and I bet you Black Lives Matter would have been there, but all of a sudden, because of the fraud, the this and everything, they shut that down. But meanwhile, the Jewish community has the Anti-Defamation League, who to me is spying on people's social media and constantly stirring nothing but hate. And every time he goes on the news, Preston, he's telling people that we should. But meanwhile, you have the Daily Wire saying that the highest dropout rate and the prison rate is happening in the black community. You have, I'm getting started. Then you have the Anti-Affirmative Action Group, which is also known as Zionists, Edward Bloom, that turn around and want to shut black people to have the opportunity to get student loans, to get funds, and have businesses. We had Ron DeSantis and Edward Bannon turning around, Gregory Abbott's turning around and saying anti-woke shall be suppressed, and having the anti-woke law and banning black books and black history. And we are the pioneers of this history. We made this country. We built this country. We have situations where you cannot express your opinion. No one is stirring hate in the Jewish community. But we see the Jewish communities trying to control every single community. Okay? You go outside, they want to know if you're going to sell your house. You go around the corner, you can't cross the street there because it's owned by them. You have NYC Mayor Adams making a letter telling us that we cannot say anything against them because they're a large community. You have Kathy Holcomb underneath telling us that a law, that if anybody say anything, they're going to press charges against you. I say to myself that I pay taxes here too. And if my child is in NYU or any college and I'm paying my tuition and they feel like they want to exercise their rights, just like how they exercised their rights a long time ago when it was Vietnam, okay? Another taxes war that had nothing to do with the United States. And students were out there protesting. And they went and made a lynch mob off of those students. And the same thing what they did last week Sunday, okay, in New York. That's why I say we need God. Where is God? With all this thing happening, and I know there's a God. His name is Jehovah. His name is Jesus. The same God that the same people denied. We can't even talk about him. We can't even say that he was black. You know, damn if you're doing, damn if you're down. And I'm talking about the Jewish community. It's come to the point that there's no peace of mind. There's no type of democracy. I feel like now we're living in communism. Pretty soon they're going to tell us the air we breathe, we cannot breathe. We cannot say anything because guess what? They're on our phones. They're listening to everything we're saying. You see the echo in the background. Even on our social media, they're checking everything we're saying. Where is our peace? Where's our comfort? For being a tax-paying person? Come on. How can us as black Americans win? We never win. And we're the ones who doing all the work.
So this is all I got from this, and I really love what she asked. When will black people ever win? When black people are the ones doing all the work. Number one is that they do not want you to win, and this is something we really have to understand. But that is a problem. We definitely will win, and we've been shining, and we'll keep shining, you know. Everything is all anti-Semitic. There is nothing you, even when it is anti-Semitic. And the fact that they are dominant, like, you know, sometimes I am like, how did they get all this power? Because if you look around, when it comes to real estate, like everywhere, they really have power. Why I was able, during the APAC and all that, I was able to gather so many things about how powerful, I mean, Jewish community, how powerful they are. They dominated both entertainment and every other this thing, I mean, like everywhere. And how they also penetrated into United States politics is something that amazes me, because I keep asking, how do they have all this power? Because if you look around during that time that they were trying so hard to suppress everybody, they were really like, you know, money was flying around, $20,000, $40,000, $50,000. They were giving out, trying to suppress people, anybody that is black and all that, people of color. You dare not say anything. You dare not speak up, because who are you to speak up? So all they wanted was to remove every black person that was on seed and then replace them with any other pop-colored person that was ready to play or dance to their tune and all that. And I keep asking this, with everything going around, they come around, some are saying it is the Zionists, that there is difference between the Zionists. Not all Jews are Zionists and supporting Israel. There are more Christian Zionists that support Israel too. Some say Zionists are fake Jews. How am I supposed to know? Because all of them are all acting wild and crazy, you know. The Zionists and their government, I don't even know how to explain that, but it is quite unfortunate that you cannot even air your opinion when it comes to the Jew, like, you know, whatever that is going on around them and all that, because automatically you are speaking against them. But you are going to see them suppressing black people, everything that got to do with them. Nobody's going to say anything. And the media also are suppressing it, because, yeah, it is black people. You all are not going to do anything, or nothing is going to happen. Black people have been the one doing all the job all these years. They have been doing the job to this very moment. They've been fighting. They've been working so hard. They did everything, and then, boom, they turn around and all the praises and all that towards them. Now, let me tell us something. Black people are really very lenient. They are very loving. I know why I'm saying this. A black person is ready. Like I see so many I see so many Jews that got opportunity from black people. I can't remember the man's name, but I remember him. Black people gave him his platform, and all of a sudden, this man turned against black people, saying so many crazy things about black people. It is very rare for a Jew, a Jewish person, or for a Jew to give a black person platform. It is not happening. They are absolutely going to use, like, put themselves in that position. They would not even want someone that look like me to come take that position, because they feel that, they feel like you are going to come over there and, like, take away things or make things really hard for them. But we do not care. We give Asians, we give the Russians, we give everybody. That's why I keep saying, protect our space. Let's protect our space. Let's stop having a lot of people in our space. Let's also promote ourselves, increase ourselves, be everything for ourselves. Because if we don't do it, nobody's going to do it for us. It is a work that we must continue to do for ourselves and by ourselves. If we are waiting anybody to come, nobody's going to do it, because they do not even want it to be at that top. We've given platforms to so many people. And we give without even looking back. That is it. We give without even judging. We give without even caring where you come from. But first of all, they are going to look at us and say, no, we are not giving them platforms. No invite to cookouts. Protect our space. If we don't protect it, they are going to come in there and, yes, we've been through it all. This is like, just like safeguard. You have to safeguard things that got to, like, your culture, everything. Protect all of it. Do not invite them in. Let them not know what is going on. Let them not understand what is happening. Because the more you bring them in, the more they know how it works and all that. Because nobody is willing to ever bring you in to tell you what is going on and how it's happening in their own community. Yeah. We can do better. I see us, we all are doing great. It is not our fault. It's not black people's fault that we are so easygoing. We are so welcoming and all that. We know all that. We are black people are very sweet. We know all that. But at some point, when you look around everything going on and finding out that you do not have any ally, what do? You cover up. Cover up. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.